Ever catch yourself feeling like you see the world in your own way? Well, you're not alone. Autism is about thinking, feeling, and experiencing life differently. If you're nodding along, these 10 signs might feel like a light bulb going off in your head. Let's see if any of these sound familiar. But before we dive in, just a heads up. These signs are simply common traits that some people on the autism spectrum might experience. But remember, autism is a spectrum, and everyone's journey is different. So, if you recognize yourself in any of these signs, it doesn't mean you're definitely on the spectrum. A professional diagnosis is the best way to know for sure. With that said, let's jump in and see if any of this sounds like you. Sign 1. Social interactions feel like a puzzle. If small talk feels like trying to solve a riddle, you're not alone. You might struggle to pick up on social cues or understand the unwritten rules that everyone else seems to follow. Conversations can feel like a challenge, but it doesn't mean you don't want to connect. You're just thinking about it differently. Sign 2. You're super sensitive to sensory stuff. Ever been overwhelmed by a buzzing light, a tag in your shirt, or the sound of someone chewing? For some people, sensory input feels way more intense than others. What might seem normal to someone else can hit you like a ton of bricks. Sign 3. Routine is your best friend. Ever feel like your world falls apart when your routine is interrupted? If the thought of a surprise throws you off, you're not alone. For many on the spectrum, routine is a safe space, a predictable pattern that brings comfort in a world that can sometimes feel chaotic. Sign 4. You get lost in your passions. When you love something, you really dive in. Whether it's a hobby, a subject, or a weird obsession, you get totally absorbed. It's not just a passing interest. It's something you can focus on for hours, sometimes even losing track of time. You're not just learning about it, you're living it. Sign 5. You say it like it is. You don't have time for fluff. If something's on your mind, you speak it. No sugarcoating, no beating around the bush. It's all about honesty, and you'd rather say something straight out than risk confusing anyone. Sure, it can be a little blunt at times, but hey, at least it's real. Sign 6. Body language feels like a mystery. Picking up on facial expressions or body language might not come naturally to you. You may miss those little clues that others rely on, like when someone's uncomfortable or upset. But it's not that you're not paying attention, it's just that you process things differently. Sign 7. Big crowds make you tired. You don't hate people, but crowds? They can drain you. Whether it's a loud event, a busy street, or a packed party, you might find yourself wanting to retreat to a quieter space. It's not about avoiding others, it's about recharging in your own way. Sign 8. You have your go-to comfort movements. Ever find yourself rocking, tapping, or fiddling with something when you're stressed or deep in thought? These repetitive movements, known as stimming, are a way your body self-soothes. It might seem odd to others, but it helps you stay calm and focused in a chaotic world. Sign 9. Empathy looks different for you. You might not always pick up on how others are feeling right away, but just because you don't automatically feel their emotions doesn't mean you don't care. You show empathy in your own way, whether through helping out, being there when needed, or just offering support. Sign 10. You've always felt a little different. Maybe you've always known there was something unique about the way you see and experience the world. It's not about being weird, it's about being you. And guess what? That's a superpower in its own right. Embrace it. So, did any of these signs hit home? Whether you're just starting to explore or have known for a while, understanding yourself is the first step to embracing your unique superpowers. Autism is just one way your brain works. There's no right way to be. The world needs all kinds of minds, and yours is just as valuable as anyone else's. Keep being you. Because being different isn't a flaw, it's a strength. And hey, if you ever feel lost, Just remember, you're not alone on this journey.